All right, today we're diving into something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's very, very real. And it could totally change how we feed ourselves. We're talking about hydroponics, the art and science of growing plants without any soil. So, let me just start with this question. What if you could grow crispy lettuce, juicy tomatoes, or sweet strawberries without a single speck of dirt? I know, it sounds kind of impossible, but that is the exact promise at the very heart of this farming revolution. The technique is called hydroponics. It comes from the Greek words hydro for water and ponos for labor. So it literally means working with water. Instead of roots digging through soil for nutrients, the plants get a perfect, tailor-made diet delivered right to them in a water solution. A really simple concept, right? But the implications, they're just massive. And here's the thing, while hydroponics feels super futuristic, its roots, pun intended, go back centuries. I mean, the first documented research on this stuff was way back in 1699. Then German scientists refined it in the 1800s, and by the 1930s, researchers in California had developed nutrient mixes so good that their basic formulas are still the gold standard today. So this is no flash in the pan. It's a technology that's been slowly perfected for hundreds of years. So why is this old idea suddenly such a huge deal for the 21st century? Well, the answer comes down to a few key, game-changing advantages it has over traditional farming. Let's break them down. When you put hydroponics and traditional farming head-to-head, the differences are just stark. First off, you can stack these systems vertically, using a tiny fraction of the space. And because you control everything, you can grow all year round. You get bigger yields, no matter what the weather's doing outside. Plus, in a clean, closed system, the need for chemical pesticides just plummets. And so does the risk of contamination. But maybe the most critical advantage is water. Seriously, in a world that's facing more and more drought, this is a total breakthrough. Because the water is just captured and reused in a closed loop, these systems can use up to 98% less water than farming in soil. Just let that sink in for a second. A 98% drop. That's absolutely staggering. And the space savings are just as mind-blowing. By growing up in vertical farms instead of out across fields, you can use up to 99% less land. This completely changes where we can grow food. We're not just talking about the countryside anymore. We're talking about the heart of our cities, on rooftops, in old warehouses, right where people actually live. And here's the kicker. Because that perfect nutrient mix is delivered right to the roots, the plants don't waste any energy searching around for food in the soil. All that saved energy, it goes straight into growth. The result is that crops can grow up to 2 times faster than they would in a traditional field. Okay, so those are the whys, the incredible advantages. But how does this stuff actually work? Let's get under the hood and look at a couple of the most common setups. One of the simplest and most popular ways to do it is called deep water culture, or DWC. You can see it here. The plants just sit in a floating platform, and their roots hang down right into a pool of water. That water is full of nutrients, and an air pump, yep, just like you'd see in a fish tank, is always bubbling away, pumping oxygen in so the roots can breathe. Another really common system is the nutrient film technique, NFT for short. In this one, a pump creates this very thin, constant stream of that nutrient water. It flows down a channel, washing right over the tips of the plant roots. It's kind of like a tiny, perfectly engineered river, delivering everything the plants need 24/7. And this is where it gets really cool. Both of these systems, DWC and NFT, are modular. They can be stacked up, one on top of the other, creating what we call vertical farms. This is how you get a massive amount of food out of a tiny footprint. It's perfect for warehouses, shipping containers, you name it. And the range of what you can grow is pretty amazing. It's a natural fit for leafy greens that grow fast, like lettuce and spinach, but it also works great for things like strawberries and tomatoes that need consistent feeding, and it's absolutely perfect for all kinds of fresh herbs and those fancy, high-value microgreens. Okay, so this all sounds incredible. Less water, less space, faster growth. So what's the catch? Well, like any tech, hydroponics isn't some magic wand. It's a really powerful tool, for sure, But there is a definite learning curve. The single most important thing, the thing you have to get right, is root health. In a good system, you see roots like this, pearly white, alive, reaching out. But if you don't have enough oxygen in the water or a nasty fungus gets in, you get this, root rot. The roots turn brown and slimy, and the plant can just collapse with shocking speed. It is the absolute #1 enemy of every hydroponic grower. And don't think for a second this is just a beginner's mistake. As home grower Kiri Martin puts it, problems can pop up anytime, even if you're a total pro. You're basically taking on the entire job of Mother Nature, and, well, that means you have to stay on your toes. And besides root rot, you've got to watch for other stuff too. Pests like spider mites finding their way inside, algae blooming because of a light leak, or even just jamming your plants too close together. And for anyone just starting out, the sheer amount of information can lead to what they call analysis paralysis. It's rewarding, definitely, but it's a very hands-on process. But hey, even with the challenges, the potential here is just undeniable. So let's look ahead. Let's talk about where this tech is going, because this is where things get truly transformational for the whole planet. The future of hydroponics is smart. It starts with these huge vertical farms we're already seeing pop up in cities. The next step, which is already happening, is plugging in AI and automation, using sensors and smart software to watch the plants and tweak the lights and nutrients in real time. And the ultimate goal? Creating disaster-proof farms that can help secure our food supply no matter the drought, flood, or pest. But you know what's really fascinating to me? The innovation isn't just coming from big tech companies with giant budgets. It's also being driven by regular people, by communities, just responding to their own needs. For instance, a study of new entrepreneurs in Jakarta found a lot of them started their farms not because of some business plan, but because of a personal need. They wanted healthier food for their kids, or they needed a new way to make a living after losing a job. For them, sustainability wasn't some buzzword. It was just the natural result of solving a real human-sized problem. And that really brings this whole revolution full circle. As the technology gets cheaper and easier to use, with DIY kits and smart systems you can control from your phone, the power to grow our own food is moving away from giant, distant farms and coming right back into our own homes and our own neighborhoods. Which leaves us with a pretty big thought. As our world keeps changing, maybe the future of our food isn't out there in a field under an unpredictable sky, but right here, in our own communities, growing straight up a wall.